Anthony, why don't you tell us about DWAC? Is that right? Is
it DWAC?
It's digital, world acquisition, whatever. But it's the Trump SPAC essentially, right? So it's a SPAC, $10 trust value. They announced a merger with Trump Media, which is a new company. Then poof, overnight it went up 800%. So it's closed at $80, went up to 100, 120. Now it's at
That's
90
crazy.
or 85, something like that, right? At that level, $2 don't matter anymore. So yeah, it's just insane. So yeah, it's a merger. It's interesting because what I found really interesting about it was, I'm a traditional guy, right? So I like earnings. And you go to growth and you like sales and revenue. And if you go earlier than that, you like, pre-sales and like the product. This is a pre-product company. So all they're merging with is a company that has said, I'm going to be a social media website backed by Trump. And that is now an enterprise value of $800 billion?
That's insane.
$800 million. Right? So, and it's pre-product. You don't know what's going to happen except that Trump is backing it.
So can we assume that most of the people are actually just
today
pumping this because of Trump, just because it's Trump?
Feels like it, right? It's his brand power. He puts his name on something and people buy it.
Is this their way of I supported Trump during the election. Now it's my time to show him what I really support, and then just buy.
Yeah, but he doesn't get the money, right? The way a SPAC works is that the acquisition price is fixed. So all this money isn't going to Trump. It's just going somewhere else. But yeah, in a great sign of investor confidence, this SPAC also didn't have a PIPE. So normally SPACs have what's called a private investment in public equity. It's where the institutional shareholders come in and they just buy up the stock and be cornerstone investors. This SPAC had none of it. It's zero. Hedge funds have come out and said, I'm selling, and I'm sold. I'm just out. Whatever I can sell, I have gone out of it. So, but the price is still there, right? It's still $85, I think, pre-market today. So fantastic. But yeah, I think just wanted to put on the radar the new thing now. Pre-product companies. We should all get on it.
That's crazy.
Okay. Jesus. Okay, so they don't have a product, but they said they're going to be a social media company for Trump Media.
Yes. They are going to be the new Twitter, Facebook, and Amazon all rolled into one.
All combined,
Amazon.
right? Oh.
Yes. All combined. Essentially, they are, FANG, they are just going to be the new FANG, except that they are one company, and it's all run by Trump. Oh, sorry. That's a bit unfair. They do have a product. They rolled out, I think, a beta social media platform, which was immediately said that was plagiarized from an open source code. And the name of the open source company is on it, right? So on certain of the error messages. So they have a product. Yes, it's just copied.
Oh man! Actually, I'm very curious.
So basically,
does the US have like a
go
anti-monopolization rule? Sort of like a company cannot be too big, if not, they have systemic failure kind of thing. So essentially, if Trump wants to be, the one-stop shop for everything, isn't it, too big? Do they even have this rule in the first place? I'm not very sure.
Yeah, they can't be too
I think
big.
they do. All right,
Yeah.
there's competition law generally, and you can be monopolistic. Just that once you're a monopoly, you can't do a lot of things. But I think that really just places a lot of faith that they'll get there. I don't know. A lot of very interesting things. So if you look at their disclosure, again, SPACs quite famously have 5-year projections. Everybody makes $1 trillion in 5 years in revenue, right? Their disclosure has no dollar signs at all. It doesn't talk about money, right? It doesn't talk about how to get there. It just
words
literally
now,
says,
basically.
I am going to make this like this. It's just words and a quote by Trump. Right?
Well, maybe
it doesn't
the quote by Trump is effectively dollar value, right? Because they associate money to Trump.
Yeah, but it's fantastic, right? Because if you are a shareholder and you buy into this, you can't sue them for fraud. They have nothing. They didn't make you any representation that you relied on. So, yeah, it sounds a bit crazy, but it could really turn out. It could turn out to be really very smart.
Wow. I think this one we'll just have to wait and see, right? But from what we understand, that if I can just summarize this before moving on, is that they have put Trump on themselves, gone through a spec and listed it, but their software, which they currently apparently have, is not even their code because it's an open source code. So effectively, if you look at their fundamentals, well, firstly, maybe we shouldn't be talking about fundamentals, but if you look at
fundamentals?
They have no game plan, they have nothing except the fact that Trump's name is on it, and that's why it's skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I think Trump is slightly slighted, so he wants to renegotiate a deal with the SPAC to get a bigger cut of it. Now that it's worth 800 million instead of about 80, so
it's insane.
Good for him. But yeah, it's amazing.
Would you guys actually keen SPAC to like a meme stock? Because most of it is hype. Right, it's only within that first, few weeks kind of thing. Everyone's like so excited. Oh my god, yes! Then they're going to put money inside, and they hope that it flies to the moon. But I mean, if you look at the statistics, right, majority of the specs don't actually perform very well after a while. I know after the hype dies down, it's sort of like it's just plateaus kind of thing.
True. I mean, we'll see a bit more with I think Grab is trying to go through spec into this thing, right? So I think that really depends. But I think you're referring to non-fundamental stocks, right? Because, like, for example, a meme stock has got nothing backing it. In this case, I would dare say that there's nothing backing this right now. Right? No code, no nothing, no game plan on where they even want to be.
It's just Trump's name, yeah.
So I think that, yeah. So for me, that's the worry, right? So definitely, I do see it dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I don't know though. Like, I mean, just looking at GameStop, right? You would, I think most people, if you put hand on heart, would say it's separated from fundamentals. Yes. But would you dare to short it?
Right? You see, but
that's a good question. That's a good question.
No, but that one is completely different to this though, because that one was against the VCs, the people that actually shorted. And GameStop rose because of the power of individual investor. This has got nothing to do with it. This is like, I've got Trump's name, put money in it. You know what I mean?
You have the power of the 49 or the 51 whatever % of people who voted for him as president, right? And I don't know if we are going to discount their power enough, especially for such a thinly traded SPAC, to say, oh yeah, we will short it in 6 months. This will all go down the drain. It might be that it actually retains its value, right? So relatively interestingly, I was thinking, and this was like 2 minutes of my time, just how I would play this, right? Because it was like, oh yeah, short it, sure. But it's like, oh, maybe not. It's a meme stock. I'm scared. So I wanted to do a volatility play, essentially, right? It either goes up crazy or it goes down crazy, and either way we win money. And so there's this strategy called straddle, and it's terribly expensive now. So it's 85 pre-market. If you want to buy an $80 put that expires next month, it's going to cost you $30.
Wow!
Right? How does the straddle work again?
So you buy a long put that's slightly out of the money. So essentially, if it's 85 now, you are betting that it's not within 80 or 90 at the end of the period of a period. If it goes out of that, you make money. It's just a matter of how much. If it doesn't go within that, you lose all your money, right? So it's literally a bet, I would say. And obviously not investing advice. But this is, and the options are crazy, right? It's $30. So if you want to buy an $80 put, right, that means that it has to go below $50 in a month before you even start making money. And that's just a crazily high price. I was like, oh yeah, I could throw 5,000 at this. Then I did it. Looked at it. I was like, oh wait, I'm not going to make money. Forget it. Like that's one of life. So even options plays are terrible for this.
We have Anthony here dabbling in options. Man, I'm too conservative to even talk about that. As soon as I learned it, I was like, as soon as I learned what an option was, I was like, my God, this is crazy. But our listeners that don't know much about options and so on, please let us know. We're happy to explain a bit more about it if you like. But if not, just Google it. I'm sure you can get a few different plays, a few different techniques around that.